Welcome back, everyone. JAYBONE here for Smash This Podcast. What is up, everybody? Here we are on a Wednesday. Going to talk some AEW Dynamite. Hell yeah. Mark's in the chat. What is up, brother Mark? Damn it, Mark. You were right. You were right. We had that little talk. We had that little talk the other day, didn't we? About what we thought might happen tonight. You were right. And when you're right, you're right. We'll get into that later. So, as we get into things here tonight, you know what we do? We smash that like button. We smash that sub button. Ring that bell for notifications. If you're watching over on the old Twitch, you can cheer bits, you can sub, you can give subs, you can do all that dandy stuff. And of course, all the socials are in the description of the video. Along with that dandy new merch site, go get you some hot off the press, Smash This Podcast merch. Go check out some of the new stuff on there. It is slick looking. Already working on some new designs for this coming spring / what gosh, you know, it almost feels like summertime. It was cracking almost 80 degrees out today. And just less than a week ago, it was still in the 30s around here. I tell you, folks, spring never had a chance. But that's how it is in good old Wisconsin. It's just like Florida, only different. You know? We may not get the hurricanes, but damn, we get some temperature changes. It's cuckoo. It's damn cuckoo. Mark says same here, but I'm 1,500 miles south. Climate change. I don't know anything about climate change. Nothing about. Yeah, Mark says 40 last week, 85 today. See? There you go. It's the same, only different. Oh, man. Yeah, Bell's boy, you're only 3,000 west of me. How's that for some Steiner math? All right. So there's a little bit of news to talk about. I wasn't going to have any news to open things up with today, but there is one important piece of news, and I know it's going to get talked about tomorrow, but I'm going to jump the gun here a little because I know there are some very passionate Impact Wrestling fans in the audience. So we're going to talk a little news, and then we'll jump in tonight's AEW Dynamite. And oh my God, was it a loaded one. All right, Maestro, cue up that lovely JAYBONE news. Jiminy Christmas. Jiminy Christmas! You know what time it is? It's time for JAYBONE's news. Ticket JAYBONE one time, yo.
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
What the hell was that? I need to talk to my producer about that shit. What the hell? Crazy. It's getting crazy up in here. My God. All right, so a little bit of news to kick off things here. We had the unfortunate findings out late last night. Was it right before? was right before T and I we were doing our throwback, and we found out from one Thornstone, one half of the uh, Reno Scum, that they are no longer with Impact Wrestling anymore, unfortunately. Um, yeah, that really sucks. That really sucks. Um, I don't I don't I don't understand why, things happen in the industry and you don't get why things happen in the industry, and you just kind of shrug and just keep going. Um and it was it we really felt like they were becoming like our team. We felt like we really clicked with Thornstowe. We had a tremendous interview. Folks, if you have not heard that interview, it was about a month ago. I think it was about a month ago. We had that interview with Thornstowe, one half of Reno Scum. Go check it out. It's really one of our best interviews. We found out so much about him. And we just found out last night that they're no longer with Impact Wrestling. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, Scum is forever, right? Um, and I really don't know what else to say about it. I hope, as much as sometimes we say, "Oh, I hope they don't get signed by this company or that company." Sometimes that touches a certain note for wrestling fans. I really hope they get scooped up by someone. I really do, because they deserve it. They really do. Man, what is with my feed tonight? Feed looks horrible. My God, what is going on with this? Looks like it's working. All right, switch back and forth between the two things here. Let's see if that fixes things up. Hopefully that cleans things up. My apologies for the quality. Just all of a sudden out of nowhere, the quality went to crap on the video. Let me know if you guys can hear me. All right. Because it looks like the quality is not too good on the video end of things. um and it's not like Trent's in the chat. What's an AEW? Which one's Jay? Says connection is unstable. Well, that's not good. Sounds good. Video's blurry. Yeah, what the hell? All right, well, hopefully that'll clean up. We'll continue. If it gets worse, I'll kill everything and just scrap it for the night because damn it, it's late and I've had a hell of a day. So yeah, I mean, I really hope they get scooped up by someone. Not that AEW needs more tag teams, and God knows the company up north doesn't know what the hell to do with tag teams at all. There's not a tremendous amount of options out there for really good tag team wrestling. I mean, honestly, Ring of Honor would be a tremendous place for these guys to go. They need to sign some fresh faces for their roster. They really need that a lot. Or hell, even a place like NWA, they need some fresh faces as well as they're trying to keep their stuff going. So who knows, or maybe they'll just go back to, being local guys. I don't know what their future is. I don't have that crystal. I don't have that crystal ball, but, and hey, sound off in the chat, as upsetting as it is, everyone's opinion is more than welcome. Let me know where you want to see them go. If you want to see them go anywhere, sound off in the chat, or if you're watching the replay of this, just, drop it in the comments. So, yeah. Oh, one other piece of good news. I had the proud privilege of taking my wife to a local hospital for her first. Oh, I got the sticker here. Hang on. I got the sticker. She got her shot. She got her first COVID shot. I'm so proud of her. This was not an easy choice for her. For those of you that know me, and I talk about Tracy, Mrs. JAYBONE once in a while. She has a lot of health issues, and big picture wise, at first she was really against getting the shot. Number one, she has this horrific fear of needles. So that's one thing. Number two is she has fibromyalgia. And so, like, if you walked up to me and just gave me a little pinch on my arm, I'd feel it, but I'd be like, oh, whatever. It's just a little pinch on the arm. If you do that to her, she basically feels like her entire arm got ran over by a truck. So anything minuscule times 1,000, and that's what she feels. So, anything involving taking blood, getting a shot, getting a vaccine, anything remotely close to that, and it's excruciating for her. She took it like a champ, and she got her first shot, and it affected, like, I didn't even feel my first one. Now I felt it in my muscle the next day. My muscle was real sore. Like, you get a flu shot, your arm's a little sore. They just tell you to move it around, keep moving it. She felt it all the way from her shoulder down to her fingertips, So, Bell's boy, your spouse has fibro too. Oh man, I feel for you. I for living with Tracy for about 10 years now, I feel for you because I've seen this. I have not, as many years as I've been with Tracy, I have not seen her a day without pain. And that's not easy. So, Bell's boy, I give you a lot of props for being a rock for your spouse, because that's not easy. It's one thing to deal with, hiccups and stuff and health issues with your significant other, whatever the given situation. But when you have a spouse who has fibromyalgia, it's constant. It's rough. It's rough, man. Um, and she's more worried about that second shot that she's going to get in 3 weeks. But I told her, I said, just take a day off or two from everything, and just rest. Just rest. Don't worry about your projects. Don't worry about the house. Don't worry about nothing. I'm like, I got this. Cause I told her, I said, I don't know how I'm going to be tomorrow. I'm getting my second shot tomorrow on Thursday, like midday-ish. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it because you know how men are with pain. I'm not I'm not going to call myself a crybaby, but man, I'm not not the best when it comes to that kind of stuff. So we'll see how things go tomorrow night. I'm going to try to, give myself a little pep, maybe get a couple energy drinks and take take some extra Tylenol or something, take a hot shower, something. I'll do what I can to power through it over the next few days because there's some big stuff happening. We got the debut of or the re-debut, if you will, of Impact Wrestling on Thursdays. And then Friday, I'm just, assuming I may not feel too great. I'm not planning anything for Friday. If I'm feeling better, maybe I'll do predictions for Saturday stuff. But Saturday, we've got midday-ish, early afternoon. We've got the Jiminy Christmas, Hardcore Justice from Impact Wrestling. So really looking forward to that. We're going to be missing a few people from the squad. Looks like I might be doing it just with Trent and maybe Alicia. So we'll see. So I'm going to bring the smoke because I'm on fire. Right. Yeah. That's right. Prime time. That's right. So, yeah, unless you guys bring up anything else, I really didn't have anything else in the news. I didn't really pay attention to news at all. Excuse me. I was really busy today with, running around all over the place and helping Tracy out and stuff. So if something happened, I probably missed it because I haven't heard nothing. At all. So let's jump into tonight's AEW Dynamite. This was an absolutely Mark says in the chat, Rascals are finally tag champs, Jay. So MSK won the tag team championships in NXT. Wow, congrats to them, man. The 3 years that they were in Impact Wrestling, they couldn't do it. Look at that. They're in NXT for a month and boom, they're champions. No, I know there was other circumstance. Maybe that was part of the plan, but I know there were other circumstances that I know that someone from I can't think of who the hell were the tag team champs. Somebody got injured, so that made them vacant. But I know MSK won the Dusty, what's that called? The Dusty Classic or whatever that tag team tournament is that they held once a year right around this time. So hey, congrats to them. That's a great sign for their future. That Trips' sees that confidence in them and their motivation and their that spark, you know. I mean, we look, Impact fans know it. We saw it for between 3 to 4 years, you know, with Dez and Wentz and Trey was there. Treehouse forever. That's right, Trent. That's right. So yeah, congrats to them. That's awesome. Looks like they got a new women's champ in NXT too. Raquel. I'm gonna botch this. Who's that? Raquel Gonzalez. Okay, that's fairly easy to say. I don't know anything about her. I think I've seen her. I have not seen her work, so I really can't say nothing about it, unfortunately. I believe Io Shirai was the women's champ for a while, so heard she had a pretty good run. I certainly haven't heard anything negative about him. Oh, and Tony Khan won the NXT title. Thank you, Trent. Thank you. Jiminy Christmas. What? What is going on tonight?
What the hell did you do?
Tony Khan did what?
Hey, Impact Wrestling. It's great to be here tonight.
Oh, now he's showing up on Impact? Wow, Tony Khan's just everywhere. Jiminy Christmas. Insane. What a world we live in. Hey, you know, I got to throw a couple in there. Trent says, I just report the facts, brah. Okay. I think that's the first time he's ever called me a brah. It's crazy. All right. Let's get into this AEW Dynamite Season 3, Episode 14. 14, folks. 14 weeks into this year already. Crazy. And it's like summertime. Sing the song. Summertime. Big JAYBONE style. All right. Now, we start out here with the Inner Circle showing up in the parking lot. And they're all coming in their separate cars. And they show up. And, you know, these guys, they got the money, they got the fame, they got the big fancy cars. And you'd think that with all that money and fame would come the smarts that when you get out of a car, you'd close the door. Two out of the 5 guys in this group did not close the door. Or excuse me, 6 guys. 6, 5, 4. How many guys we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 5? It's 5. 2 out of the 5 guys in this group did not close the doors to their car. Aren't you supposed to close the door when you get out? That's like zipping your fly when you're getting done to the bathroom. It's just something you do. I laughed. It just looked so funny. I don't know. But anyways, they show up. They're here for business. They are pissed off. They want revenge for everything that's been done to them. So they return tonight, Big Jericho style, if you will. And we start out with this. Now, they say that the number 1 contendership is on the line here. Because Hangman Adam Page, now I didn't look at the numbers. I did not look at the numbers. But Hangman Adam Page and Max Caster are apparently tied, in a sense, for the number 1 contendership. So, you know, someone's going to etch themselves up a step closer, and someone's going to fall down a notch. And they've both been doing great. Hangman Adam Page has been on a roll because, you know, and they said 2020 was rough. You know, he really went through quite the transition with the, you know, successful tag, leaving the Elite and all that stuff. And maybe having a little bit of a drinky problem or something, as some people would say. And he's back on the right track. You know, he surrounded himself with positive people like the Dark Order. Those two things don't sound like they're supposed to go together, but they do. You know, the Dark Order is turned over a new leaf in the new year of 2021. You know, they're a fun group. They're are they going to change their name from the Dark Order? Are they going to stay the Dark Order? I don't know. Everybody loves the Dark Order now. Then we got Max Caster. One of this tag team. Now, I know Bowens is a little banged up, but he's still going out there. Hopefully he'll be back in the ring soon. At least I think I heard he was injured. I didn't hear what was wrong with him. Max Caster is really becoming something special in this company. He really is. I love his style. I love his raps. He had to get censored a little bit. It was hilarious. Yeah, I see the video's cutting out a little bit here. Looks like it's cleaning up now, hopefully. Charles says the Dark Order still haven't replied to my emails. Hey, don't feel bad. I applied and I never heard back from them either. It's it's clearing up. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Trent. Not everybody can be in the Dark Order. I thought I'd be perfect because I've got a little dark, crazy side to JAYBONE, But no, it's all right. I still support them, still love what they're doing. Bell's Boy says Max Caster's dad used to play football for the New York Jets in the 80s. Interesting. Wow. That's something. So the athleticism runs in the family. So yeah, I love Max Caster. I love his old school raps. He's obnoxious, he's a little bit of old school and everything. Trent is not a fan of the masks. Well, they all have numbers on them, representing their numbers. Kind of like the 7 dwarves, only different. So, but yeah, great match between these two. As much as I love Hangman, I was kind of almost rooting for Max here to come out on top. Figured that'd be really, interesting if that happened. But the old trick with the boombox didn't work here. Hangman and Page held on to that #1 contendership. Now, the whole thing with Mox and Kenny Omega is still going strong, and it got even crazier tonight. We'll get into that a little later. So, excuse me. Hangman's just going to have to hang on a little longer to maybe get that chance against Omega. And that'd be something too, if he really did get it. Because that would be almost a year in the making by the time to get around to it. Excuse me. So, all right, next here we got Tony Schiavone with Death Triangle in the ring. And they're apparently getting their chance next week against the Young Bucks for the tag titles. That's going to be a big, just that match alone, it's going to be a big part of next week. It's going to be something. Then they get interrupted. Poor Tony can't put an interview together for nothing lately. Man, he's always getting interrupted. It's crazy. So he gets interrupted by the best friends. And Orange Cassidy comes out with Trent and sexy Chucky T and the alien too. Chris Statlander joins them, because I guess he's part of the best friends now. A little strange, but it works. It'll work. We could have friendly aliens out there. Sure, why not? It's wrestling, why not? And they show some footage from last year where the dear God, the Death Triangle. Still thinking about the Dark Order. Jiminy Christmas. The Death Triangle attacked at one point last year. They attacked Orange Cassidy a few times. So he was just letting them know that he has not forgotten about that almost a calendar year later. So I don't know if that's really building up towards, whatever's coming next week, like after next week, if that's going to be a part of something. I don't know. It's hard to say. I would certainly welcome it. You see a lot of these 3-on-3s, and I've said it once and I'll say it again. It just tells me that they're going to have a trios championship sooner rather than later. I think by the end of this year, you're going to see a trios championship because there's way too many groups out there. Like, these little stables popping up all over the place. There's way too many of them. It's like if you're going to have that many teams / stables, then you got to have you got to have something for them to go for. You can't just have one championship. Not that I want so many that it's going to get cluttered with belts. Like, I got this belt and that belt. No, but to me, it just makes sense. So, but let me know your thoughts on that. Is that something that, because we are seeing more stables and teams pop up here and there over the course of the last several months. Do you want to see them get a trios championship to kind of even out the odds of something to go for in the company? Let me know. Best friends show up and they just kind of, they don't attack, they're just sitting up there on the stage and they're like, look, we remember what you guys did last year and we're just letting you know that the boys are back in town. Just like the classic song from, was it Thin Lizzy? Thin Lizzy, I think. So, then we got Dasha. Oh, no, my bad. We have this scathing promo. Inner Circle comes out and Jericho, the crowd goes nuts for him. It's like usually the crowd just goes nuts for the Judas song. And then, Jericho starts talking, then they start booing him. Now this is different. This is the Inner Circle are now baby faces. So, the crowd is loving the Inner Circle from start to finish. None of this, hey, Judas, we're going to sing and then we're going to boo the hell out of you. Nope. We love them now, damn it. We love them all. So he cuts this scathing promo. He calls MJF my jerk-off friend. How much you want to bet that in 24 hours you're going to see a new MJF shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees, but instead, in quotes, it's going to say, my jerk-off friend. I'd be willing to, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd put some money on that shit. What do you guys think? What do you guys think the odds of that are? Showing up in the next 24 hours. So, tremendous promo here for Jericho, just showing why he is still one of the best on the mic. And he has a huge announcement because things got a little, shall we say, wonky with COVID last year, and things really got flipped on its head and stuff had to get canceled, unfortunately. Right when things were really getting hot last year, they had to cancel a certain event that was really going to be exciting. And I don't even remember who was all going to be a part of it. I'm guessing, the Nightmare family and someone else. Maybe it was you know what? It was probably the Inner Circle and the Nightmare family. That's my guess. I think that's what it was supposed to be. Primetime says, I put 5 on it. Oh, that's a classic. Wow. Jericho comes out to his own song, the Judas song from Fozzy. No, that's damn it, Trent. You're a metalhead. You're supposed to remember these things. Edge comes out to the Alter Bridge song. Yeah. The Jacksonville Choir. That's right. That damn Jacksonville Choir. Always singing along. So, yeah, they announced that on May 5th, just a little over a month from now, on Wednesday Night Dynamite. It's not a pay-per-view, but it's going to be one of those themed Wednesday nights. They're going to have blood and guts. So sounds like it's going to be a cage match. I'm not sure exactly what the original Blood and Guts was going to be. I think it was originally supposed to be kind of like a War Games type match. I don't remember what the original plans were. If anybody remembers the plans, by all means, put them in the chat. But hell yeah, I'm stoked. I am stoked for this. Can't wait. Blood and Guts coming to TNT. Boy, they are gonna rue the day that they brought this to their television station. They're gonna go, oh my God, Blood and Guts. What are we? The Walking Dead? It's minus the zombies. Now, so next we got Dasha and Christian asking him about his match last week against Frankie Kazarian, and how Frankie Kazarian had such a great match, but Christian's end of it was maybe a little questionable. Then all of a sudden Taz, out of nowhere, interrupts him and says, hey, look, I don't want you to respond right now. Don't answer me right now. I want you to sleep on it. Just think on it for a bit, okay? Get back to me on this. But I want you to join Team Taz. And Christian just has this look on his face like, no thanks, bro. But Taz cuts him off and it's like, no, just shushes him, basically. So I don't see this happening. I don't see that going very well. I'm very curious to see where this is going to go. Like, okay, we see how this went with Darby Allin when Taz was trying to what's the word I'm looking for? He was trying to court him, I guess you could say that, or prod him into joining, I don't know. Trying to think of some like corny old school shit. Never mind. All right. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It kind of came out of nowhere, but hey, they gotta come up with something new because you already have this drama going on inside Team Taz. Because every time they show Brian Cage there with Team Taz, he's just kind of Brian Cage just kicked back, just kind of yeah, God, this group sucks, man. It's always has that look on his face, like I can't wait to drop this stupid this title, this title he keeps holding on to that he can't do shit with. It's kind of a bummer. But then there's always Ricky Starks like, oh no, things are perfect, bitches. I love Ricky Starks, I really do. So anyway, I think that's gonna sooner rather than later lead to Cage versus Starks, and then Team Taz is gonna explode, and some of them will stay, some of them will go, maybe. I don't know. Trent with some strong opinions about Cage being the Impact champion. One of the top 3 worst Impact champions of all time. Trent, who are the other 2 you're thinking of? I gotta know. Mark says Brian Cage is like a lost puppy. Yeah, like I want to see him break away from this, but I don't want it just to happen overnight. I like this slow burn of, okay, what's going on with Team Taz? I want to see the drama unfold because I like Team Taz. I like it when he's like, just bullshitting everyone, just trying to paint that turd a gold color, trying to paint that turd all pretty. No, nothing wrong here, So, but who, like, okay, assuming Christian turns them down, who would he face? Or you know what? What if, okay, here's a different spin. And then I'll move on. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but what if Christian says yes? What if Christian says yes and Brian is like, are you kidding me? This guy? Why did you bring him in here? And then that causes like a bigger rift. Then they kick Brian Cage out, and that causes a thing between Christian Cage and Brian. Oh my God, I just figured it out. They're going to book Cage versus Cage in a cage. All right, we continue. I think part of my brain just exploded on that one. And that'll be part of Blood and Guts. Mark said the other 2. Okay, now I gotta scroll up here. Cage doesn't even use Weapon X anymore, which is like the only good thing about him. Okay, where did he? Oh, Tessa and Alberto. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Pac-Man Jones. Pac-Man Jones is prime time. Pac-Man Jones and Truth, TNA World Tag Team Champions. The worst thing they did. Yeah, we can certainly add that to. Excuse me, damn. Add that to the list. Jiminy Christmas. The Battle of the Cages. Yes. Quadruple cage match. Yes. It's getting punny in here. So who knows? All right. So next we've got. Hold on, folks. We got a ways to go. Now we've got Godzilla versus Kong. Or no, excuse me. This match was sponsored by Godzilla versus Kong. Have you ever seen a match sponsored by a movie? That's kind of cool. So we had Jurassic Express consisting of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus who are number 2 tag team contenders, apparently. Excuse me, versus Bear Country. Well, I really like this Bear Country. These two guys, man, they're just big guys. You know, they're kind of rough around. I should say, actually, very rough around the edges. And their names are Bronson and Boulder. Is this a new thing, or has their name always been Bronson and Boulder? And I want to know how long these guys have been together. I'm really curious. This is like a team I really want to like learn more about because I'm really digging this. Just kind of a rough, old school, big guy tag team, you know? Like the uglier they are, it just reminds me of like old school AWA is what it reminds me of. You know, stuff from around here. You know, there was nothing pretty about the Crusher, you know, or guys like Baron Von Raschke. You know, nothing pretty about them. They were just rough, and they talked like this, and they smoked a cigar, and they carried a keg down Wisconsin fucking Avenue, and they told you how much they were just gonna wipe the street with your face. You know, doesn't get any better than that shit. Classic. Oh, that hurt my throat. I guess I'm not cut out to be that kind of a wrestler, right? So, God bless the Crusher. By the way, if you're ever in the town of Cudahy, down in southeastern Wisconsin, go check out the Crusher statue that is there. I actually had the pleasure of being at the statue, got some pictures taken with it, and I got to hang out with some of the Crusher's family there that was actually visiting the statue at the same time. Very cool. Great moment. All right, next we got a promo from QT Marshall and the Factory. It sounds like his group is going to be called the Factory. I'm a little confused by this. Just not that. I mean, obviously, I get that his group is doing their thing now against the Nightmare Family or the Nightmare Factory or whatever. But is the Factory the name of their group? I don't know. But they cut a promo, and then that Agogo guy, what's his name? Anthony Agogo. He even cut part of a promo too, and apparently he's going to make his in-ring debut next week. I'm looking forward to that because I mean I hear he's quite this. I mean, he looks like quite the athletic specimen, quite the spectacle. But what can he do in the ring? That's what I want to know. It's like, to me, he feels kind of like what Jade Cargill is, or what like MJF is. Like they're like, you know, like they're not going to put him in the ring a lot. They're going to save him for a special event. You know, it kind of feels like that. So we'll see how that goes next week for him. But that was one of the matches that was announced for next week. Then next week is just going to be loaded as well. Where was I go? Oh, I completely blew over the finish for Jurassic Express and Bear Country. My apologies. Jurassic Express wins. I really love this tag team match. Some great tag team wrestling here. Two of the top teams in this company. Bear Country really kind of came out of nowhere. Right before things shut down in Chicago, they were in a match in Trent's AAW, and that's the first time I saw him, and became a fan of him. I was like just kind of blown away by him. Like, wow, look at these guys go, and the next thing you know, they were doing dark matches in AEW, and now just what seems like a short time later, they're in the number 4 spot for the tag titles. They're actually moving up the ranks. So good for them. All right, what's next here? All right, we covered QT Marshall stuff. Now we got Tony Schiavone in the ring again with Sting, and Sting comes out, and this is kind of becoming a habit forming here. Like they bring out Sting, and then Sting gets interrupted, and Sting doesn't say shit, but they actually, it's actually they really changed stuff up tonight, and it was refreshing. Like Sting finally talked tonight. He told Jake the Snake to shut his mouth. I was like, oh, dear God. Someone finally told Jake to shut up. No, I love Jake Roberts. But that is one thing you never hear. You never hear anybody tell Jake to shut up. I was like, oh, God. Something's going to, there's going to be like some storm happening because of like all this tension on stage now. This is just crazy. So Jake starts his promo, and then Lance cuts him off, and he's talking, and then Sting cuts off Lance. So it really feels like this is starting to amp up now. I'm not sure when this is going to take place, but now it really feels like it's going somewhere because it was just baby steps for a while. Excuse me. Lance would come out, and he would say a few things, and he wouldn't say nothing. And then, Sting wouldn't say anything, and then it would just be another, oh, God, this again. But no, things are starting to happen. They're changing it up. So that's good. They're finally changing it up. The interesting part about this is while this is all happening, up in the rafters where someone else usually is, Darby Allin, we see Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky hanging out together. Now, them hanging out together isn't the surprise. It was where they were hanging out was kind of the surprise. So that tells me, excuse me, that tells me that either one or both of these guys is going to come after Darby sooner than later. And I said this a long time ago. I said, and before Paige even showed up, I said, if Paige ever goes to AEW, the one thing that I want to see is the 2017 rivalry renewed between Ethan Page and Darby Allin. Because that was my feud of the year in 2017. I love that. It was amazing. They've done some of the similar things to Darby Allin in AEW since, like the whole body bag thing. And I love Darby Allin. He is one of my favorites on this show. But man, if I could get Ethan Page to throw Darby Allin in a body bag again, fill it full of tacks, and just suplex the shit out of Darby Allin, man, just shut up and take my money. JAYBONE would be one happy boy. So, but I don't know. We'll see how this is just interesting. We'll see how this plays out. I know that Darby Allin is facing Matt Hardy next week, so okay, are you sure you like Darby Allin? Yes, I like Darby Allin, but there are bigger picture things that I would like more than just the individuals. All right, we continue. where are we here? All right. Team Taz announces that they're all, or, Taz basically speaking for Team Taz, saying that they have a goal, and that goal is to go after Christian Cage for him to join Team Taz. And we already talked about that at length. We'll see how that goes. Now, what I call match of the night next to the main event, this was so much fun. And I gotta admit, I said I wanted to watch them. I have not watched them yet, but after I've seen this, I'm absolutely going to be watching it. And that is JD Drake's other matches that were on Dark leading up to this. JD Drake is a treasure. He put on a clinic with Darby Allin here. If you're not a fan of JD Drake, after watching this match, win or lose, which, okay, of course he lost, but win or lose, if you're not a fan of JD Drake, after seeing him bust his ass and put on a clinic against Darby Allin, the TNT champion, check your pulse, folks. Sincerely, as a wrestling fan, check your pulse. Just take a minute, take a deep breath, check your pulse. Because damn, that match was fire. I love me some JD Drake. He reminds me, after seeing this match, he really reminds me of like a Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens, if you will. And that's, in my opinion, that's a pretty high compliment. But I'm looking at the in-ring stuff he was using, and it's very, like, it wasn't identical by any means, but very similar to what Owens / Steen uses in the ring. The cannonball stuff, that caught my eye. So yeah, Primetime says the TNT match was awesome, right? So but yeah, Darby Allin squeaks this one out. Honestly, the way the match was going, I thought we were going to get an upset. But see, that's the great thing about a good match. You're telling a good story. Their job is to make you believe that guy coming in from, could be out of nowhere, by no right should be winning this match. But after seeing him pull the stuff that JD Drake pulled off, like 3/4 of the way through this match, if you're a fan like me, you're like almost convinced like that we're going to get an upset. I try not to think so obvious that, oh, Darby Allin's just going to win all these matches. This is a company that like pulls shit out of nowhere, folks. Okay. You never really know until you know. I never, like I said it 1,000 times. Who knows? Might even be one of my t-shirts someday. Never assume in the world of professional wrestling. Who said it? JAYBONE said it. But yeah, great match. Darby Allin wins with his coffin drop, defends his TNT title successfully, and then the HOF, the horny old farts, attack Darby. I'm going to come up with something every show for these guys. Hardy's group attacks, and then the Dark Order rescues, and then a fight breaks out between Ty Conti and Bunny, which leads to a match later. We already knew that match was booked, but they were just getting a little ahead of themselves there. But the Pinnacle then attacks Jericho, drags him out to the ring, and we get the return of Mike Tyson. Now, here's my thinking going into this. Like, okay, that's huge. Mike Tyson, love him or hate him, he's a big name. And it was just going to be a matter of time. You know what Mark said? Fuck it. That's what Mark said. Fuck it. Got it, Mark. I love it, Mark. It was just going to be a matter of time before Mike Tyson came back. So I don't know why. Maybe it was just because him being safe in a COVID Florida at the time, several months ago, whenever it was, I forget. Who knows? Who knows? Or maybe some other stuff was going on that I'm just not aware of. I really have no idea. But the last time we saw Mike Tyson in an AEW ring, he had a pull-apart fight with Chris Jericho. And at the end of the episode, Chris Jericho was screaming the hair off his head and maybe other random parts of his body, screaming at Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson was held back by his posse or group, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. So knowing that Mike was going to come back, it was really going to be a big, like, okay, you assumed it was going to have something to do with Jericho. But if it was going to have something to do with Jericho, because then you've got Jericho in the Inner Circle with all this stuff with the Pinnacle, and now you've got Mike Tyson in this, you'd almost kind of, I'm not going to say that word, assume. You'd almost assume that Mike Tyson would go the way of MJF. What did he call him before? My jerk-off friend. You'd see Mike Tyson and my jerk-off friend standing tall over a fallen Jericho by the end of this episode. But no, that's not what we got. We got Mike Tyson coming to the aid of Chris Jericho. So they squashed their beef. Now, personally, I would have liked the other way a little more. Like, it would have made a little more sense coming off of where we were before, because then it would just be a continuation of the story, you know? But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, no, that's crap. They ruined it. No. I'm letting it play out. Never assume what's in the mind of Mike Tyson. You might bite your ear off. JAYBONE went there. So this is leading to, oh crap, what's Mike Tyson's going to be the special enforcer in a match next week. It's going to be Jericho. It's going to be Jericho versus one of the FTR guys. And everyone else is going to be banned from ringside, I believe. Something like that. Mark says, this is the third or fourth great show in a row AEW have strung together. I hope this is a turning point. Yeah, I mean, it feels like they're really on a roll lately. You know? I mean, it's like, okay, we're past the whole Wednesday Night Wars thing. We know that's over, even though they had some takeover special tonight or something. That doesn't count because that's all tied in with Mania week. So next week, whole new schedule for the whole new game. You got Raw on Monday, NXT on Tuesday, Wednesday, AEW, Solo, and loving it. Thursday night, Impact Wrestling, Solo, loving it. By the way, don't miss tomorrow. Tomorrow sure is going to be a banger. I got a feeling that we're going to have a tremendous show. And then Friday, well, SmackDown's getting so bad, whatever, don't give a shit. that might as well just be a day off for me or something. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, so yeah. So we'll see how long Mike Tyson sticks around for all this. I don't know if he's going to end up in the ring or in a crazy tag match with Jericho or something. I don't know. We'll see. Now we got Tony again. Boy, Tony's just on a roll tonight. All these interviews. He's talking to Britt Baker, and she's talking about this whole number system that they're doing. All the rankings is just messed up. That she should be on top. It should be about popularity and awesomeness, or whatever she said. As opposed to wins and losses and stuff. I don't exactly agree with that. I like the number system. I think that's okay. It's something different, at least for wrestling, as far as rankings. So I don't think that's going to get that's not going to get too far with the brass at the top of the company. But hey, it's worth a shot, Britt Baker. Shoot your shot. Now we got the Bunny versus Ty Conti. Good women's match. HFO is HFO is at the ringside with the Bunny, Dark Orders with Ty Conti, and Hikaru Shida's out there too. She's formed kind of a strange alliance with Ty Conti that normally you'd see them button heads or something, but they've kind of have a force. I think it's a level of respect, and that's a good thing. And she even comes to her aid in the match when Bunny was gonna hit her with a kendo stick, and Hikaru Shida stopped her from doing that, and Ty comes off with the win here. Excuse me. My goodness. About time to call it a night. But not until we talk about this main event. Oh my goodness. We got trouble in Young Buck City, folks. Jiminy Christmas. We got Omega with the Good Brothers, former Impact Tag Champs, versus Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks. And damn it, I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. Mark, you were right. Son of a bitch, you were right. Because you said, it was last night. I said a couple of days ago. It was last night, I think. We were talking about this match coming up, and you said that you thought the Young Bucks were going to turn on Mox. And I was like, nah. But then after thinking about it, I was like, holy shit. That actually makes sense. And sure as shit, man. I mean, this was a fun match. Everybody got their shit in. But damn. So the Young Bucks turn on Mox because of all the drama, and Don Callis mentally beating down Matt to the point where he could not continue in the match. Psychologically, emotionally, could not continue in this match against a former brother, if you will. Family, if you even want to stretch it far enough. Kenny Omega. But yeah, the Young Bucks end up turning on Mox. And the Biz Cliz is back together. And man, they end up just super kicking the shit out of Mox. As much as I love Mox, I was like, oh man, that's kind of too sweet. Because the Young Bucks are still one of my favorites in this company, if not one of my favorites. Because Got the figs right over there. Damn. Crazy ass match. I'm not sure where this goes because obviously things are really. Prime Time says main event reminded me of an NWO screw job, right? Totally. I mean, things are really wearing thin for Mox. It's I love Mox, and I have a feeling he's still gonna get one more shot, but it might be time for Mox to throw in the towel in this mission. Oh, Critical Sting says, speaking of Callis, look at Sammy Callahan's last tweet. Well, Jiminy Christmas, why don't we just look at that last tweet? Let's bring up the old Twitter box, if you will. And we type in Sammy. And there's the draw. Right there. Never trust anything Don Callis touches. The invincible hand only cares for itself. Think about that. Don't be fooled. One of the EVPs of Impact Wrestling only cares about himself. Oh, man. That is something. Huh. What does that mean? What are we getting from that? Does that mean we're eventually going to get Sammy Callahan versus Kenny Omega? Oh, God, please let that happen. That'd be amazing, hey? Mark says, unleash the draw on them. Paul says, what happened to your co-host? He was having some technical issues a few times, so I'm sure I'll have him back sometime, but I want him to get just a better setup first, before I bring him back and have more hiccups. So it was nothing horrible, I just stronger Wi-Fi, stronger system or something, That's all. Good guy. Like talking to him. Just didn't work out. Yeah, Bullet Club taking over AEW/Impact. Yeah, Bullet Club is running wild, hey? Just wild. Bring out the Callahan Slugger. That's right. So yeah, crazy episode of AEW Dynamite. Really love this one. And it looks like next week is just going to get crazier. Things are really amping up between the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle. Mike Tyson's back. The women's division is starting to really stand out in a positive way. It's been a while, and we've all been a little, here's that word, critical. We've been a little critical of the women's division in AEW. They've had a rough patch, but damn it, seems like things are really starting to chug along in a positive way. Speaking of women's division, haven't seen this lady in a long time. And one of the reasons why I know this lady so well is because one dear fan of the show has sent me a few things regarding this young lady as gifts towards me. Love you, Eric. So I saw, they have the undercard up and comers around the ringside, just outside the barrier, rooting on the folks in the ring during, the dark elevation / dynamite matches going on, all these episodes. The one lady stood out, one young lady, one redhead stood out. That I was like, oh, I've seen her before. I wonder if they're going to start using her. I have not seen her in a match yet. That remains to be seen. I'm talking about a local Floridian, if you will, Amber Nova. So we'll see. Laughing at the chat, you guys are goofy. So yeah, we'll see. I've been watching more elevation, paying a little more attention to dark lately as far as what's going on there. I've been reviewing some AEW Dark Elevation that did episodes number 3 and 4 back to back. So if you want to catch up on those, you can go watch those on the channel as well. So we're going to get out of here now. Thanks everyone for joining, even though it was later than I wanted to here on a Wednesday night. Don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of my content hits your screen. The audio portion of Smash This Podcast, you can find it over on anchor.fm / Smash This Podcast. You go there and it branches out all over the place. Goes to Google, Apple, Bullhorn.fm, what was it, Rebel Radio, or Castbox, Podbean, Verbal, Spotify, all these places. There's like a dozen different places now that this goes out to on audio. So it's great to see that. It's the numbers are slowly growing. There's even a support button on the anchor.fm / Smash This Podcast site. It's kind of like Patreon, just different. There's different tiers, and you can support the podcast for less than $1 a month. So please consider doing that. Helps the podcast grow, helps update the production, everything that we're using here, trying to keep this chugging along. And please consider smashing that sub button. We are on our way to 1K. Hey, that almost rhymed. On our way to 1K. We're at 970 something, and really trying to make that. We're trying to make this year the year. So please consider doing that and helping to grow, because that has certainly been a goal of mine for the last 7, almost 8 years now. This summer will be 8 years that we've had this podcast station going. Crazy. Yeah, that is not the official website, Zach Bonifer, boneonthego.com, although it might be someday. Jiminy Christmas. What else? Merch link is in the description. We've had some people buying some stuff recently. Thank you so much for your support. Go check out some of the new merch that I've put up on there, because we are at a new shop now through Spreadshirt. Some great stuff. We got buttons, we got hats, we got bandanas, and all sorts of different kinds of shirts and hoodies, and we call those the zip up hoodies, all sorts of stuff, men's and women's. So go check that out. Word out in public and tell them who your favorite podcast is. And all the socials are in the description as well. The Facebook, the Twitter box, and that good old Instanek. So click on those also. It helps the channel grow. The Facebook is almost to 100 likes. It's over 100 follows, and I'm not sure how that all goes. But anyways, thanks for all the support and love. We'll see you guys over on that other little podcast tomorrow night for Impact Wrestling's Move Thursday nights. We're back on Thursdays, folks. And we'll be doing I'll be running the watch along, hopefully, not feeling too horrible after my second shot, my COVID vaccine shot. Cross your fingers, folks. Say a little prayer because JAYBONE's going to be taking all of his vitamins and stuff tomorrow. So, going to do my best to work through all that tomorrow, working into the weekend, and then obviously leading to Saturday's Hardcore Justice on the Impact Plus app. So, some big things coming up the rest of the week here. Can't wait. I'm stoked, and I hope you are too. We'll see you guys tomorrow night over on TNI. Much love. Good night, folks. Take care.